Hello everyone, welcome to Chelsea Sport Focus. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started.
Mykhailo Mudryk cleared after months-long doping investigation. A nightmare ends for the Chelsea winger. After months of uncertainty, scrutiny, and intense personal anguish, Chelsea star Mykhailo Mudryk has finally been fully cleared of any wrongdoing following a detailed anti-doping investigation that had, for a time, threatened to derail his young career. The winger, one of the most high-profile talents in the Premier League, is now free to continue playing after being officially exonerated of all drug-related allegations. This was not a brief controversy. It wasn't a case of a misstep corrected overnight. This was a long, complex, and emotionally exhausting process, one that began months ago and unfolded mostly behind closed doors, leaving Mudryk in professional limbo and public silence, all while fighting to prove his innocence. What began as a quiet internal investigation quickly escalated into one of the most gripping football-related legal sagas in recent memory. The pressure was enormous, the consequences severe, and yet, Mudryk held firm, believing the truth would eventually emerge. And now, at last, it has. The initial shock, a dark cloud over Cobham. Months ago, during what was supposed to be a routine doping test as part of UEFA's random testing program, Mudryk's results reportedly triggered a red flag. The alarm was loud. Initial testing revealed a substance classified under the World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) list of banned stimulants. Immediately, there was panic within Chelsea's camp, and among regulatory bodies. A provisional suspension loomed. A 4-year ban was not out of the question. The alleged drug, though unnamed publicly at the time, was said to be a powerful endurance enhancer, something capable of aiding recovery time and stamina, attributes vital to a player in Mudryk's position. The implications were enormous. If confirmed, not only would his Chelsea career stall indefinitely, but his international future with Ukraine would collapse. The entire trajectory of his professional life stood on the brink. Behind the scenes, a meticulous defense. Chelsea acted swiftly. Recognizing the sensitivity of the situation and the fragile reputation of the player, the club assembled an elite medical legal team to investigate every possible source of the result. Independent scientists were consulted. International anti-doping analysts were flown in. Data from Mudryk's daily intake, including his meals, supplements, recovery aids, and hydration routines, was logged, analyzed, and scrutinized. A second round of testing began. This time, the focus was not simply on confirmation, but forensic detail. Using cutting-edge tools, including AI-driven cross-contamination scanners, biochemical residue tracking, and digital detection mechanisms, Chelsea's team launched what one insider called the most detailed doping rebuttal process in Premier League history. The breakthrough came when analysts identified a contaminated batch of legal muscle recovery powder that Mudryk had been using, a supplement manufactured under licensed production. Further chemical analysis revealed that the product included a compound with a nearly identical molecular structure to the banned stimulant. It was enough to trigger a false positive in all the testing equipment. This discovery changed everything. Official clearance. The verdict arrives. After reviewing the findings of the retests and accompanying documentation, the Independent Sports Testing Federation, ISTF, in conjunction with UEFA and WADA oversight, released their conclusion. After a comprehensive and technology-supported re-evaluation of the initial sample, Mykhailo Mudryk has been fully cleared of any anti-doping violations. The previous alert was caused by a faulty reading linked to a non-prohibited, contaminated product. The player's eligibility to play is fully restored. Chelsea immediately echoed the sentiment, issuing a statement that reaffirmed their belief in their player. "We are relieved and proud to confirm that Mykhailo Mudryk has been exonerated following a months-long investigation. We have always maintained our faith in his character and professionalism, and we are thrilled to see him return to doing what he loves." Mudryk speaks, a player reclaims his name. In a carefully worded message released on his personal social media accounts, Mudryk spoke for the first time since the investigation began. "For months, I have stayed silent, not because I had anything to hide, but because I believed the process would reveal the truth. This has been the most difficult period of my life, both mentally and emotionally. I want to thank my teammates, my family, and the Chelsea fans who never stopped believing in me. Football is my life. I would never betray it." His words were simple, measured, and full of quiet defiance. Mudryk didn't lash out. He didn't name those who doubted him. He focused instead on moving forward. The road ahead, vindicated and vital. Now cleared of all allegations, Mudryk is expected to rejoin Chelsea's first-team squad immediately. He has already resumed full training and is in contention to feature in Chelsea's next pre-season fixture, and potentially the Club World Cup opener if his fitness aligns with manager Enzo Maresca's plan. Sources inside Cobham say that the Ukrainian winger has returned stronger, sharper, and even more focused than before. And for a player who already had something to prove after a slow start to his Chelsea career, this latest ordeal may have just ignited a new level of intensity. Mudryk is no longer just fighting to fulfill his potential, he's fighting for redemption, reputation, and the right to define his own story. A saga ends, a chapter begins. What began months ago as a quiet investigation turned into a whispering storm. Those whispers turned into doubts. Doubts into accusations. And for a time, one of Europe's most exciting young talents was shrouded in suspicion. But now, science, truth, and perseverance have prevailed. Mykhailo Mudryk has emerged from the shadows of uncertainty with his name cleared, his record clean, and his future wide open. The mud has been washed away. The clouds have cleared. And Mykhailo Mudryk is ready to fly again. Fearless, focused, and back in blue, acting to the Blues' bold summer moves. The summer of 2025 is shaping up to be one of the most transformative in Chelsea Football Club's history. Gone are the days of slow and cautious squad evolution. Under the ambitious sporting project crafted by Lawrence Stewart, Paul Winstanley, and the blessing of head coach Enzo Maresca, Chelsea have ignited the transfer market with a series of bold signings aimed at reclaiming their spot among England and Europe's elite. As the ink dries on several deals and the Cobham training ground buzzes with fresh faces, a flurry of emotions has poured in, not just from fans, but from Chelsea legends who built the foundations of the club's modern-day success. Let's take a deep dive into the signings Chelsea have made, the impact each player could have, and how club icons like John Terry, Frank Lampard, Petr Cech, and Didier Drogba are reacting to the seismic shifts at Stamford Bridge. The new Blues arrive, signings that signal intent. 1. Jesse Derry, the homegrown wonder kid. Chelsea's announcement of Jesse Derry's signing from Crystal Palace raised eyebrows and excitement in equal measure. The 18-year-old, fresh off a stellar season at Palace where he won the U18 Player of the Season, was courted by several top clubs, but it was Chelsea that secured his signature until 2029. A dynamic, left-footed winger who also represented England in the UEFA U19 European Championship, Derry is seen as a long-term project with immediate potential. Enzo Maresca reportedly sees Derry as a hybrid player capable of learning under the experienced wingers currently at the club while featuring in cup games and making cameos in the Premier League. John Terry's reaction. Jesse reminds me of the hunger we had when we were coming through the ranks. It's always good to see young English talent choosing Chelsea. He'll need to be patient, but with hard work and the right mentorship, he's got everything it takes. 2. Marc Guiu, the Barcelona bulldozer. After making a statement at La Masia and scoring for Barcelona's first team, Marc Guiu shocked many by agreeing to join Chelsea. The 18-year-old powerhouse striker has arrived for a fee of around €6 million and will join Sunderland on loan for the season. Guiu brings a physical presence reminiscent of Diego Costa but with a calmness in front of goal that defies his age. Didier Drogba's reaction. Marc is a beast. I've watched his clips and the way he attacks the box reminds me of myself. If he develops the right mentality, he'll become unstoppable. 3. Omari Kellerman, the creative flame. Poached from Aston Villa, Omari